So really long ago, someone asked me to make this video, and I'm only getting around to making it now, so I'm very sorry about that. I think with a video like this, it's really important to start with a disclaimer. The stuff that I'm going to talk about has been my own personal experience, and that may be very different from the next person's experience. Nothing I say in this video is true in general, but it is true for me. I reiterate, no generalizations intended. Let's start at the beginning. If you've watched my earlier videos, you'll know I didn't have the best start in Finland. But maybe if I offer you some context, you'll understand. Maybe you won't. I landed here on the 24th of August 2015. Alone. I didn't have family here, I didn't have friends here. I had no concept of Finland, its language or its people. I didn't have anyone to help me. I was lost and confused and alone. I hate to be the one to tell you this because you know how fond I've grown of Finland and its people and the way everything works here, but initially, you don't make the best first impression. What people later come to understand as reservedness, initially comes across hostile. And I guess you could say I should have done my research if I was going to move to a country for 9 months, but honestly, that was not one topic I thought I would have to research. I have been to 11 other countries outside of Finland and South Africa, and in none of those countries did I have a problem with me being too outgoing and too willing to talk to people. That is not a problem I usually have. Like in those 11 other countries, my friendliness to random strangers was a lot better received. And in that sense, the culture is incredibly unique. I understand now I understand the reservedness, and now I don't understand why every country in the world isn't like this. I think you've discovered the secret to a better life, but initially, in a state of non-understanding. It feels cold. I'm really gonna struggle when I have to go back to Africa because the things I'm gonna miss about Finnish culture is a video topic on its own. If we move on from the first few weeks though and we talk about my overall experience, I would have to say that overall, I felt welcome. For every asshole that I've met 99 genuinely nice people. Even recently, there was this one guy on a bus stop who looked at me in my confused state. Clearly something about my face gave away the fact that I was foreign and lost, and he asked me in English, "Are you lost?" and offered me help. Like, where were you my first few days? I'm just saying. Also, I'm not surprised my facial expression gave me away though, because my face is very expressive. It's hard for me to lie because my face will tell you exactly what I'm thinking. However, some of my expressions are very similar, which confuses people. For example, my angry face and my "I've just ordered a hamburger in an incredibly fancy restaurant and so social convention dictates I should probably use a knife and fork to eat this, but since I'm slightly drunk this is proving to be a bigger challenge than initially anticipated" face is very similar. So then now the people at the table are like, what's wrong? But I digress. The point is, for every one asshole there's 99 really nice people here. I've also never met a group of people who are more willing to explain why they are the way that they are or why they do the things that they do. So if any part of this unique culture confuses you, just ask. And if you're talking to the 99% of non-dickheads, they will do their best to clarify. And now, should I talk about racism in Finland? I think I should, because not all foreigners in Finland are white. I would say yes, racism exists in Finland. I've seen racists. I know they exist. They walk among you. Some of them don't even know they're racist. But I think the important thing to remember is that racism exists in every country. And I challenge you to find one country where there is not one racist. Such a place does not exist. But something I want to address is, like, I've seen a lot of internet comments and things that say Finnish people are really racist. But I have to disagree and defend a little bit there, because I come from arguably the most racist country in the world. I have to say, believe me, compared to what I've seen in South Africa and other countries, it's not as bad as it could be. But hey, I'm white. What do I know about racism? As for the asylum seeker situation, based on the conversations I've had with Finnish people, and I haven't interviewed every single Finnish person that's ever existed, but overall, I would say that most people that I've spoken to are still sympathetic with the situation. Like, if you're an asylum seeker, or a refugee, or whatever you want to call it, I think you will find sympathy in Finland. Just not from everyone. But that is not something that's unique to Finland. That is a worldwide issue. South Africa had its fair share of immigration because despite its problems, it's one of the better off countries in Africa. It's one of the easiest countries for other African countries to escape to. So we know, except we don't have a refugee program. We don't give refugees money. Some of the African cultures just become really annoyed at the influx of people because they feel their work is threatened. So they put tires around them and set them on fire. So compared to that, I think Finland is doing okay. I mean, yeah, there is a bit of hostility, but Finland is still civilized. However, if I were to offer advice to people moving here, whether for asylum-seeking reasons or not, and you can take it or leave it, but my advice would be to learn the culture. Don't come here and expect things to be precisely the same as it was in your country. Don't come here and expect Finland to learn your culture. It's like when you go to someone's house for the first time. I'm gonna use the silliest example I can think of, but if you go to someone's house and they ask you to take off your shoes, take off your shoes. And if you don't want to, you don't have to come inside. If the reason you're in Finland is problems in your own country, you need to weigh up the things you don't like about Finland versus the problems in your country and pick one. You can't have the best of both. But yeah, that's just my opinion, so feel free to disagree with me. I'm betting a lot of people probably will. Despite my rough start, I still think that this has to be one of the best countries in the world, if not the best. So I think that's all about that. I do have a request though. I am officially out of video ideas, and the reason for that is normally how I come up with my video ideas is I'm just looking around and being observant. But recently I've been under a lot of stress, so I have only had work on my mind, and it's not very good for creativity. So if you have any requests or ideas for me, please let me know. I would really appreciate it, otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do for next week. Okay, I think that's all, bye.